Hi everyone, my name is G12. I'm from Group 12. So today I will explain about requirement 1, which is assign all devices with IP address blocks that have been specified. So this is the network topology that has been given. So this IP address is the address given for branches, and meanwhile this address given for HQ. So what I did for my part is I count all the IP address that is needed for the red area, the orange area, the blue area, the purple area, the green area, and the router. And this is the addressing table, so that can easily see which one that we have added the IP address. So this is our network topology that we did earlier. So firstly, what I did is I add or assign all the IP address in the server that is available in this network. The orange one, as we can see, is the same. I also assign for the purple server the IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway. The blue server, and lastly the red server. After I assign all the IP address to the server, next I go to the HQ router. I add the loopback address as given here. So this is the router for HQ. This is the loopback address that is given, which I did using CLI. After that, I add the address for the serial 000, and then I also add the IP address for the serial 001. After that, I add the IP address for router in branch 1. I add the IP address at the fast internet 00 and also serial 000. After that, I also add the IP address inside branch 2 here at the fast internet 000. That is fast internet 00. This is the IP address and the subnet mask. And I also add the IP address at this serial 000. Lastly, I assign IP address for the PC that is located in this orange area. The reason why only PC in orange area that need to add IP is because they are using static routing. So J1, this is the IP address, the subnet mask, and the default gateway. Second PC in orange area. And this is the last PC that is available in the orange area. So that is what I did for my requirement 1.
I will now show the demonstration for requirement 2, which is configuring VLAN. we have four VLAN actually. The first one is for the blue server, and the second one for the red server, the third one for the orange server, and the last one is native VLAN. This is for the HQ. Okay, we have to do all of these four VLAN in the switch 1, switch 2, and the all of the switch that are there. Okay, now to show it that we have created our VLAN, we're going to use the command show VLAN. Okay, as you can see, we have the first VLAN, second VLAN, the third VLAN, and the fourth VLAN. That's all.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Alif. Today I want to show you configure requirement tree, which is assigning switch port to VLAN. For the switch 1, before this I have done to configure switch port, and we see switch show VLAN brief. So at the VLAN blue that we can see, VLAN blue 11, VLAN 11 blue, I have already switch port the port FA02 and FA03. FA02 is server, FA03 is PC. And then for the switch 2, show VLAN brief, we can see for the VLAN red FA03 PC FA03, and for the orange FA02 4 and 5, 2, 4 and 5, and none of blue. And for the switch 1 2, show VLAN brief, we can see VLAN blue have one port FA011 blue, and for the red we have 0 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, this is. And for the orange 03, orange 03, this not in VLAN. Okay, and we can see for the trunking, show interface trunk. Port FA01 4 and 5, we have VLAN allowed on trunk, same as this. Mode on, encapsulation 802.1q, status trunking, native VLAN 44, and we can see this and also this. This trunking have that been assigned for the all switch here. Show interface trunk, see for FA port FA01, and the last one show interface trunk, same as here, status trunking, native VLAN 44. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Iliana Narina binti Ramli and I will be explaining on requirement 4 and 5.
For requirement 4, we need to configure router for inter-VLAN routing. At router HQ, define the sub-interfaces and the respective IP addresses. Then we need to define the VLAN, assign to the sub-interface using encapsulation.1q VLAN number, where the VLAN number is the VLAN ID for the sub-interface. Firstly, we type the interface fast Ethernet 0/0, then no shutdown. Next, we define the sub-interfaces with the VLAN number. So here we use 11 as our VLAN number. Then we continue defining the VLAN by using encapsulation.1q 11, which is the VLAN number here, and its IP address. And then we can repeat the same step for VLAN 22, 33, and 44, which is the native VLAN.
So first, we will go at router HQ. Next, we use the command show run to confirm it.
For requirement 5, we need to configure router with suitable routing protocol and access control list, which is ACL. So here we need to configure the routing protocol at each router in branch and HQ network using the RIP version 2 and ensure all the hosts and branches network can communicate between them and only to the web server, which is the orange server in the HQ network. And then we need to identify the route each host pass through to communicate with other hosts in branches network. And lastly, all hosts in the red network and blue network are able to communicate only between themselves inside its own VLAN and only to the web server, which is the orange server. So first, we do the RIP v2 at router HQ by using this following command. In this command, we type router RIP and enter the classful network addresses for each directly connected network, and then version 2 and no auto summary. This is to turn off automatic summarization in RIP v2, and then just type end and copy run start. For branch 1 and branch 2, we can just repeat the same step for it.
We enter the show IP route command to verify whether that the RIP v2 is successful or not.
Then for ACL part, we configure the router with access control list, which is ACL. Here is the command that we use. So step 1, we create the ACL on router HQ and use blue for standard name ACL. And here is the permit statement that permit any packets from its source address. And this is the deny statement, which is to deny all other traffic. Next, we continue configure the router for the standard name red. This is the command for red, and we use it the same way as we did at blue. And for orange, we create a name extended SEL called extended orange, and here is the permit statement that we use. Lastly, to apply the SEL, we will use this following command to apply the SEL at this router HQ.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Aisyah binti Mustafa. Today I'm going to explain about requirement 6 and 7. For your information, all PC in red, blue, purple and green area has been set to DHCP because we need to assign an IP address using DHCP service for that area. All the configuration in the server have been made using addressing table that we get from requirement 1. We just need to add on the service. After that, test whether the PC get the IP address or not. So for the right area, as successful, and then we go to the blue server on the service and we test the PC whether they get the IP address or not. Yes, successful. Next we go to purple. For purple server is a little bit special because it need to assign IP address for purple and green area. Okay, first we on the service. This is the configuration for purple area, and this one is for green. Next we test whether purple get the IP address or not. Successful. Green area. It's failed because at their router we have to use command IP helper to make a way so that the server at the purple server can assign IP address for green. IP helper address and insert the IP address for the server and start. Then the green area also get the IP address. Okay, next we move on to requirement 7, where we need to set up the HTTP, DNS and email service. First we on the service for HTTP. DNS will be set up at purple. So we just on because I have configured it before. Then we test whether the PC can go to the website or not. Okay, there you go. So that for the email service, I will set up the email at Orange server. This is the domain name. The user will be branch 1 and branch 2. Don't forget to on the service. PC at purple. For PC1, we use the information about branch 1. Name will be branch 1. The address will be branch 1 at group.com. The incoming mail server will be the address for Orange server, which is this 06. Okay, and paste here. The username, we will use username that we have set up at the email before. So branch 1, the password will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Save. After that we go to green. Configure the email. Branch 2. Sorry for the email will be service2@group.com. The IP address will be the same because we use the email service at Orange server, so the name will be same password GWER save. Okay, now we will try to send from branch 2 to branch 1. We enter the email. The subject will be greeting. Hello, I'm 10%. It say have been sent to branch 1. Okay, now we check. We receive, and yeah, we received the email. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Fadil. So I will now will demonstrate how to do web page. So first, go to IP configuration. We open server, and then copy the address. Go to the DNS. So type the web page name w dot group12 dot my. So here's the address and add. Okay. So we open the HTTP and make sure both of the HTTP is on. Okay. Let me find.